Hi, my name is Kathy Nowak. I got my bachelor's degree in biological sciences at North Carolina State University in Raleigh. Immediately after that, I moved to Charlottesville, Virginia, and started my grad program in biomedical sciences at the University of Virginia. There, I kind of focused on developing non-invasive therapies for treating brain cancer. And during my training there specifically, I gained experience in experimental design, data analysis, and scientific communication, including writing manuscripts, presenting research, contributing to grant development. My work has been really highly interdisciplinary. I was kind of a mix between microbiology, immunology, cancer biology, but I also worked in a biomedical engineering lab, so I had my hands in a lot of pots, and it allowed me to collaborate with scientists across different fields and communicate complex ideas to a range of audiences. So my research focuses on kind of blending oncology and immunology, in particular understanding how the immune system interacts with tumors. Specifically, I was working in the brain, so much of my work involved studying these brain tumors and the tumor microenvironment with an emphasis on improving therapeutic strategies. So I've worked with preclinical models, I answered a lot of immunotherapy related questions, and I've had translational projects that connect like basic science findings to potential clinical applications. I have had the opportunity to contribute to scientific manuscripts. I have one first author data paper that's out. I've contributed to 2 literature reviews related to my dissertation research. So I've had the opportunity to do a lot of writing, something that I'm really passionate about. I've also presented my research to a variety of audiences. I also led my dissertation project from concept through execution. So I'm especially proud of building a strong foundation in both scientific rigor and also clear communication. Through my mentorship, of which I've mentored quite a few students, not only mentoring in my undergraduate research at NC State, but also mentoring newer graduate students at the University of Virginia. I've supported those students in not only developing their technical skills, their laboratory skills, but also developing their research skills and helping them build confidence in defining their hypotheses and their research question, and also helping them to really understand what goes into experimental design. I feel like I have challenged a lot of my mentees to really critically think and improve their scientific understanding. So while working with these students, I've helped them interpret their data. I've helped them refine their communication skills. That's something that I was relied heavily upon at the University of Virginia. In my lab, my colleagues knew that they could come to me with manuscripts or reviews or even just a page written document that they were supposed to give to their committee, and I would edit it and give them any sort of feedback on maybe errors in scientific reasoning or errors in flow, on top of just like typical copy editing style line edits. My approach is very much individualized. I like to meet the students, where they are, but also help them build skills step by step to really build confidence in themselves and also challenge themselves. I think it's really important to sometimes have to say, I don't know the answer to that. It's a really vulnerable place to be. I like to call it intellectual vulnerability. That's something that you have to learn in grad school. So that's a really critical step in getting to the point where you not only can feel confident in knowing that you don't need to know everything, but knowing where that limit is as well, and also pushing that limit. So working day by day to get to a point where you have just a little bit more a little bit more knowledge, so that the next time someone asks you a question, you may know it. I like to emphasize breaking down complex concepts into manageable pieces and creating a really supportive environment where students feel comfortable asking questions. I will often encourage students to try and find answers on their own first, and if they either find answers and then they have more questions, that's great. That's like probably the ideal situation. And if they're not able to find answers, of course, I'm happy to help. So one of my biggest strengths is my ability to explain complex scientific concepts in a clear and really accessible way. So I'm really highly organized. I pride myself on being able to help students stay on track, whether I was tutoring or mentoring graduate students or undergrad students in research. Staying on track with projects and deadlines really do place a strong emphasis on communication, both understanding the science and also being able to explain it effectively. I think sometimes that gets lost as an expectation for research students, but I think it's really critical to be able to not only do the research, but also learn how to explain your research to different groups of people in a way that is meaningful to them. My passion for mentorship really stems from my experiences. I've seen how important it is to have really strong mentors and how that has shaped my experience in research. I think I would not have been nearly as successful as I have been if I hadn't had the research mentors that I've had. And I also think that I completely understand that starting out can feel really overwhelming. It's really important to have guidance of people that you feel comfortable with, that give you that space to be intellectually vulnerable, but also who challenge you to, think for yourself, think critically, make some of those decisions on your own. And I think that makes a big difference in building confidence. And I also just really enjoy helping students grow and develop new skills and really discovering what excites them about science. I mean, we're all in the same boat. We all think it's cool. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be here. You probably wouldn't be pursuing the career paths you are.